Hi everyone, it's Min Ling from Brand Fame, and I'm super excited to be here today to talk to you about the missing ingredient in most new brands. So there's something that a lot of people don't do, especially solopreneurs who are new to the online business or business in general. What I find a lot of people do is that they go ahead and start creating websites, logos, and graphics before even doing this one missing ingredient that I'm going to share with you. They just get so excited about oh, I want to tell everybody what I'm doing, like my message, I want to go sell some stuff, but there's a step before you create a website or do any kind of promotions that you must do in your brand. And that missing ingredient is the brand essence, or the heart and soul of your brand. So let's talk about what a brand essence is. So brand essence is a singular idea or statement about who you guys are as a company, as a brand. It's everything in your brand has to be related to this brand essence. And I'm going to use a couple of examples. So for example, Disney's brand essence is magic. And another example is Volvo's brand essence is safety. And the reason why it's important to know this is because, everything that Disney does, if you take a look at their, graphics, their advertisements, the experience that you get when you go to Disneyland, it is a magical place. And you're there and you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm in another land. It's all fantasy. And it's really a special place because they create this magical experience. Now, what happens is a lot of people, don't do this step and don't figure out their brand essence. And, you might be sending out mixed messages out there. So you really have to figure out what it is your brand really stands for. What is at the heart of your brand? Another example, like I just gave a second ago, is Volvo. Volvo is all about safety. And this is really important because it differentiates them from the rest of the automakers that are out there in the market. And because Volvo revolves around safety, they really don't think about, having the flashiest looking car or the prettiest looking car. They want to be number one car that is the most safe out of any other cars or automobiles that are out there. And it's so important for them that, what they create, all their messaging is around safety. How they innovate is around safety. So when you're thinking about your brand and you're thinking about creating a business, you want to think about this brand essence, the heart and soul of your brand, so that you can go ahead and build your entire brand around that brand essence. So when you also think about your brand essence, you also want to make sure that your brand essence is different than your competitors, because you don't want to have the same brand essence as your competitors, because that means that you're not going to be differentiated to them or with them. And if that happens, then basically, you're going to just look like them. And when people choose between your brand and the other brand, they're not going to be able to tell the difference. They're not going to necessarily choose you as well too. So you really want to think about, okay, what does my brand really stand for? What can I be consistent with throughout my entire marketing campaign, through the entire brand experience? What is unique to me and my company? You also want to make sure that it's also a single-minded focus. You don't want to create a long brand essence. You want to think about just a couple words that describe how you want people to feel with your brand. Again, like Volvo, it was safety, and then with Disney, they wanted to have people feel magical. So you want to think about, how do you want people to feel when they are experiencing your brand? And you want to make sure that feeling is translated into your brand essence, and then translated into how they experience your brand through different promotions that you do, through the marketing efforts or emails. You want to make sure that you're consistent in the experience, because when you go off brand and you do things that are not quite on your brand essence, then that leads to confusion. And when there's a lot of confusion out there, people won't know what your brand stands for, and they won't know if they should trust you or not. So you really want to think about this idea of brand essence and get to the heart of what your brand really stands for and believes in. From there, that's when you start to create the other elements of your branding. Another great example is, I love this company, sorry if I use it a lot, but Tom Shoes. So their brand essence is all about giving, and how they make themselves different than other shoes companies, or how they made themselves different from other shoe companies that were out there, was that they weren't focused on just, selling shoes. They had a bigger mission, they had a bigger purpose, and because of that, they branded themselves differently. So they didn't focus on the type of shoes that people would buy. They focused on the impact of the shoe being purchased, and the impact that would have on these kids that didn't have shoes. And that's what their marketing message was all around. And because they had this brand essence of this idea of giving, it created all the other marketing campaigns around it, and they were able to branch out. Unlike other shoe companies, they were able to branch out to other avenues or other products. So they were able to branch out to sunglasses or glasses, and instead of giving shoes, for every glasses that they sold, they would be giving people the opportunity to get their eyes checked or new glasses in countries where they couldn't really get their eyes checked. And so it's really important, again, everything that they've done, if you look at their website, it's all going back to this brand essence of giving. And so you want to think about, why did you start your company in the first place? Why did you start your business in the first place? And start at that root, like why, because that will give you some clues to how your brand essence really is and how you want it to show up in the world as well too. Like again, Tom Shoes, it was all about creating, this giving environment so that that people felt good about their purchases and that they were making a bigger impact than just selling products or services. Disney was all about being magical. So when they started Disneyland, or Disney World, they really wanted to make sure that they took people on an experience that was that took them outside of their normal day and created this wonderment, this excitement as well too. And then Volvo is the other example that I was giving. They really want to create that experience of feeling safe in the car, and so they target a lot of families because families really care about the safety because of their kids, and they want to make sure that the kids are taken care of. If they get in an accident, that the car won't crumble. And so that's their focus, and that's their market, and that's why they created their business. So think about why you started your business in the first place. Think about how you can be unique in the market. Look at what your other competitors are doing and making sure that you're not having the same brand essence as any of your competitors as well too. And then also you want to make sure that you can be consistent with your brand essence and your message, and making sure that that you can have it be across different platforms, the way you market, the way you show up. That's also very, very important. So hopefully this was helpful. If you thought this was helpful, go ahead and just comment below. I'll be happy to answer any questions as well too. I'll periodically be checking the comments. And then also, if you felt that this was helpful, feel free to share it, and so more people start to understand the nuances of branding. I think there's a lot of opportunity in this market to really go deeper into what makes a brand that will help you stand out in the market. And that's something that I'm really passionate about teaching. I'm not so passionate about teaching just the visuals and the graphical elements. I'm more passionate about teaching you the background, the foundations of branding, so that you can take that and go ahead and create a better and stronger brand. If you want more information about branding in general, I have a free ebook. You can go to brandfameschool.com/it-guide to go ahead and grab your free ebook. It's been downloaded over 1,800 times, so a lot of people love it. So go ahead and download that. It also comes with an audio. Again, it's brandfameschool.com/it-guide. And I think that was it. So if you have any questions, go ahead and pop them below, and I will see you later. Bye.